Thank you. Welcome to the meeting of the Tahoe Truckee Unified School District Board of Trustees. Today's August 17th, 2022. The board is going to adjourn to closed session. This is our opportunity for anyone to make public comment prior to that closed session. I'll note that there is no public here, so we will close this portion and move into closed session and plan to be back at 5:30. Thank you.
Test, test. Test, test. Test, test, test. Test, test, test.
Thank you. Welcome to the meeting of the Tahoe Truckee Unified School District Board of Trustees. Today is August 17, 2022. If you'll please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. It's so much nicer to do that in person than seeing everyone's midsection on the Zoom calls. The board did meet in closed session this evening, and in closed session, we did reject a claim of liability pursuant to Government Code 54956.95 on a vote of 5-0. Superintendent Geisels, is there any changes to this evening's agenda?
No changes, President Zurich.
Would someone like to move approval of the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you. Public comment. This is the opportunity for anyone from the public to make comments to the board on anything that's not on this evening's agenda. If you want to talk about something that is on the agenda, we ask you to wait till that time. Any public comment? Seeing none, we will close public comment and move on to our Superintendent Chief Learning Officer's update for the board.
Thank you, President Zurich. Well, we're ready for school, August 30th, and we are so excited. We are hoping to have as much in-person experience in all aspects of our school calendar as possible. And the district would like to thank and welcome all of our new and returning students, our parents, our communities who value and contribute to all of the programs that we use and all of our foundation and everything. So we're so excited to be starting a new school year after the last two. Our all-hands convocation is on the 24th at North Tahoe High School. And our theme this year is Better Together, because truly we saw that in the last 2 years that we are better together. Wanted to mention a little bit about our staffing needs. We have about 62 vacancies in our district, including 9 bus driver positions. So if you would like to work for a really good organization, you could have the same vacation days as your children, please come see us. We would love to have you. Additionally, and I'm going to say this to make him feel really uncomfortable, tonight is Mr. Santos, Jeff Santos' last board meeting with us. So Jeff is our executive director of our Student Services Department, and I want to thank Mr. Santos on behalf of parents, students, teachers, our principals, our board, and our cabinet for your dedication, your professionalism, your stick-to-itness, your kindness, your candor, your go-gettingness, everything that you've done for our students and for this community, and you will be sorely missed, but we want to wish you well in your new endeavor and just want to let you know how much we appreciate you and all you've done.
Well, thank you. Did not expect that, so thank you for that.
I know you didn't.
It's definitely, it's been bittersweet in the sense of we're definitely connected in the community and we're going to miss the area, our friends and colleagues. And I say we being my wife and I, who also works for the district. But it's been a pleasure serving the local Tahoe Truckee community. And yeah, it's been emotional. So I want to thank you for the opportunity, though, to work in this position and other positions. And I'm a phone call away should things come up. And a couch, yes. And those that don't know, we do plan to move out of state, so getting reconnected directly with students, so looking forward to that opportunity as well. But thank you, Ms. Carmen, for those words. Appreciate it.
Every word was true.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you, Superintendent Geisels. And the district will be providing parents and the community more information in regards to the consequences of being down bus drivers in particular, and how that's going to affect some of the opportunities for our kids during the year in some creative ways.
Yes.
We're going to keep those opportunities available, but they might look a little bit
Right.
different.
Yes.
So, yeah, we'll keep working on the housing solutions too. So next we have a resolution. I'm sorry. This is a resolution regarding secure firearm storage notification. Superintendent Geisels?
Yes, this resolution is presented by the district on behalf of Dana Dose, who is from the Moms Demand Action Volunteer. I know Ms. Dose is here virtually, correct? There she is. So I'm going to let her speak a bit about this resolution and give some context.
Thank you so much. I am going to share my screen here. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
It appears that I'm not allowed to share my screen. Are y'all able to enable that? Or I think I sent the slides to Lupita, if she's able to share them.
I think she's working on that right now.
Should I go ahead and get started?
Yes, please try it now.
Okay, yes, there we go. Okay. All right, are we all set? Do you see this slide?
Yes, we do.
Great, thank you. All right, so thank you so much for your time and consideration at this meeting and for letting me join on virtually. My name is Dana Dose, and I have 2 children within TTUSD, and I began volunteering with Moms Demand Action in 2018 after the Parkland shooting. And quickly after joining, I learned that gun violence goes far beyond school shootings. It includes suicide, domestic violence, unintentional child shootings in the home, and city violence. I do this volunteer work as a way to take action to protect my children and to support my belief that every single person deserves to live a life free from the fear of gun violence. And Andrea Smoot and Michelle Elkers are present. I think Michelle might be on her way or present at this time, representing our local volunteer leadership team. So we're here as concerned parents and caregivers who, like you, care deeply about safety in our schools and homes. We understand that as parents and community members, we share the responsibility of creating safe environments at home, in school, and in our community. As adults, it's our responsibility to keep guns out of the hands of children and teens. Educating adults on the importance of secure gun storage is one vital strategy to help keep our students, staff, and community safe. So let's talk about why this is important. As of last year, firearms overtook automobile accidents as the #1 cause of death for children and teens. In the United States, at least 4.6 million children live in a home with at least one unlocked and loaded firearm. We see guns increasingly being brought into schools by students across America. In incidents of gunfire on school grounds, 78% of shooters under 18 obtained the gun from their home or the home of a relative or friend. And in 2020, gun suicide among children ages 17 and under reached its highest rate in more than 20 years. The most recent data shows that nearly 700 children and teens die by suicide each year. With ski towns showing even higher rates of suicide than other areas, we have an even greater duty to educate families to store firearms properly. With proper gun storage, these tragedies are 100% preventable, and if we can save even one life, it's worth the effort. One helpful tool is the Be Smart program offered by Everytown for Gun Safety. Be Smart, which has been adopted by school districts across the nation, offers helpful resources and educational handouts around gun safety. The campaign focuses on the importance of conversation, secure gun storage, and community awareness. It encourages parents and all adults to be smart and take these simple steps to help prevent shootings by children. The S stands for secure all guns in your home and vehicles. M, model responsible behavior around guns. A is for ask about the presence of unsecured guns in other homes. R is recognize the role of guns in suicide. And T is tell your peers to be smart. We believe that sharing this information widely throughout the Tahoe Truckee Unified School District is an important effort for safety in our schools. We are asking the Tahoe Truckee Unified School District to partner with us in sharing this important information in our school communities. We thank you so much for sharing a Be Smart Facebook post last month. And we further ask that you support this effort by approving Resolution Number 2-2022-2023 Secure Firearm Storage Notification, which includes language about adding this information to school handbooks and, as the resolution describes, sharing an appropriate letter in English and Spanish to parents and guardians that explains the importance of secure gun storage and the legal obligations to protect minors from accessing irresponsibly stored guns, to be included in annual registration materials at each school site, and requiring a signature acknowledging awareness of secure gun storage responsibilities. Our volunteer team is ready to support the school board and TTUSD schools in carrying out our mutual commitment to supporting secure firearm storage throughout homes in our district. If desired, we are available to provide resources, present to local PTO groups, and we are open to finding new creative ways to partner with the district on this matter. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Does the board have questions on this item? Kirsten, go ahead. Galen.
Who wrote this resolution?
This group did.
Have we, checked all the numbers? And
Actually, I don't believe so. Is that
Not
correct?
at this point, no. We brought it to the board for the board's further direction on what
Okay.
you would like us to do.
So I'm totally sympathetic to this issue. It's huge and I support it. I'm wrestling with, is this appropriate for a school district? We could be inundated with other people asking us to get involved in somebody's home and sign this. I mean, my gosh, can you imagine? Much of it seems inappropriate to me, but I'd just like to discuss it with you guys because that's just my reaction.
Right. I would say I have a similar reaction. I believe in gun safety, and I don't want to get into the politics of gun safety. My concern is we spent the last 2 years being inundated by statistics that we needed to vet before we incorporated them into something that's official of the school district. And it seems to me that staff has not had the opportunity or the time, frankly, to do that. And so it makes me, frankly, a little bit uncomfortable, including statistics in a resolution that I don't feel that staff has vetted. Not that I don't believe you guys, that's not what I'm saying, but so we're in kind of a funny situation. I guess my feeling is, right idea, super concerned about gun safety, but maybe we need to do a little bit more homework before we incorporate it into what we do as a district. And I'd like to, I think our law enforcement, Truckee PD, our sheriffs, they're in many ways leaders in this area too. That's why we shared the Facebook post that Truckee PD put out. So I guess for me, I need a little more homework done. Not because I don't agree with the idea, because I 100% agree with the idea.
Can I share some websites to help you with?
Yeah, you can, but let's let the board finish with
Oh,
their
I'm so
thoughts.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah, I think we have to really exercise caution. I know that your intention is in the right place, but when we set a precedent for exterior organizations to create resolutions, then we set a precedent to open up the floodgates for anyone. And I totally and completely agree with Galen and Kim's sort of concern that we have to be the authors and we have to own the process of what gets put on our agenda. And I think that what we need to do is open up perhaps a larger conversation around how do we engage the community in helping to self-police versus the school district attempting to police the public. So there's some layers to it that I think we really want to exercise caution, because when it comes to personal safety and personal confidentiality, we're getting into muddy waters when we're asking people to sign things just completely like carte blanche in order for their kids to be in our schools. Does that make sense? We have to be really careful because we can't impede on people's freedom in order for their children to have access to school. So there are some nuances, I think, ethically, morally, and legally that we really want to consider. And I'd also love to potentially have council take a look at this in order for it to be sort of successful.
I like the author part. Like, I think that it has to, if it's coming from us, it has to be sort of ours. But I'm totally supportive of what you're saying, but I'm psyched you said that because it isn't, and again, it isn't something that we can have everybody do this and put out resolutions. And I think that made more sense to have a resolution needs to sort of come from us. And I do think that the more information we can all get, and again, I was feeling that I didn't discuss it with everybody, and I guess we hadn't ever had an opportunity.
Right.
We spend a lot of time discussing stuff before it gets on here, and we are really sensitive to having that opportunity, and I think we didn't get it. So I think that may be a good start.
Right, we did follow the board policy when there is a process for folks to put stuff on the board agenda. And so we followed that policy with Lupita's help. So I guess what I would suggest, from what I've heard, is Superintendent Geisels, if staff could work with the moms, maybe there's some dads, but your shirt says moms, and bring this back to us, in 2 meetings, I don't want it to die as an idea, but let's figure out the right way to address it.
September 21st.
And make sure that we are,
And what I will do is make sure that we confer with our legal counsel regarding the resolution itself, and if there's any potential liability or ramification issues regarding that, and I can report back.
right, and the signatory, I'm also concerned about the required signatory part.
And the handbook piece.
Because you can't keep kids out of school,
Right.
There's the ability for free public education.
Right.
So, we just need to make sure
Right.
that we're doing it correctly.
Yes.
Well, and I think also, I didn't even know your organization existed prior to this conversation, so perhaps this is an opportunity for you to sort of educate the public on your efforts, your fundraising, how we can organize the population of this community around this issue, because it's huge, and I think people would really love an opportunity to jump on board and join you and support you, because everyone's terrified right now to send their kid to school on a daily basis, and that is not okay. Right? Yeah, so let's get your t-shirts going. Let's help you, in any way get the word out, or,
Yeah, we have all the tools for presentation, for just having tabling with just
Right.
information.
Right.
We can get gun locks out there. And then that Be Smart is such a separate, it's under the mom's demand action, but it's not as much of thinking legislation-wise, it's really thinking safety-wise. And just that we can all agree that that's really the safety, defense safety.
Okay.
well, and a lot of these movements start locally and they grow. And that's the way to create sort of an impetus for an actual movement.
Yeah.
So, you're on to something very strong and very powerful and very compelling. And I think we'd like to just put some wind in your sails on this and talk more about it for sure. Thank you for coming
Yes.
and presenting this topic to us. Thank goodness.
Yes.
So what we haven't done is public comment, and we can't hear you when you're back there, or we can, but they can't. So I think what I'm hearing from the board is we will probably not pass the resolution tonight, but rather ask staff to come back to us. But if anyone who is here wants to make public comment on that, now's the time to do that in 3 minutes, or not. Okay, I think we have no further public comment, so we will move on.
Can Dana I don't know if she wants to put
Well,
comment.
she can make a follow-up comment, but
Okay.
she was the presenter. It's kind of weird to have the presenter also do public comment, but, whatever.
Yeah, it's okay. I just wanted to share, we do have sources for all of the data that's on there. So whoever we end up working with after this, we can work together to, piece it together so you are confident that all the data is accurate and everything's in place.
That's great. And that will funnel through Superintendent Geisels?
Yes, if you just could send me your sources and everything that you have, because I will do my due diligence with our legal counsel regarding all of the items that you mentioned and see where legally what we can and cannot do as a public school district.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you for your passion. Next, we have a donation from Park Pictures, who apparently did a commercial at Donner Trail Elementary School.
Mr. Hilton, would you like to share this information?
Sure. We were happy to share our parking lot with the company that managed a Toyota commercial they're filming up on the summit. I'm not sure exactly if it was those fast ones that go down Rainbow Bridge or if it was an off-road. What maybe we'll see on the next Toyota commercial, but they were very gracious to give the donation, and we had just repaved the parking lot, and they take really good care even with some big semi-trucks. So we're thankful for them for taking care of the Summit School.
Cool. Board questions?
This may be a question for Todd. Ed, I think that's great, and I'm psyched that you were able to secure the sponsorship for Toyota board members. Do we get Toyotas as? No, but Todd, the question for you was that when we do have our spots, like for instance on Ride Out, there are weddings that are on the lake, and then they use our parking lot. Do we get money from that?
Well, technically, we do have a facility use process that everybody should be going through that utilizes our property, our facilities, our parking lots. Oftentimes, people will utilize those without our knowledge up front. So when that does happen, we try to inform the...
Interesting, because I would love to use our school facilities during the summer just because they're there. But when I read this, I was like, wait, I wonder if that's something that we could, Anyway, thank you, because I do know that there was some parking.
I'm sorry, Dee Dee. Our facility use process is handled through our maintenance department via Torelli. So there's an application process generally for that.
Yeah, they have to provide things like insurance and liability, releases of liability. We've also worked with Park Pictures in the past, so it's nice to have continual every couple years. They'll redo a commercial and ask for use of the facility.
And that's great. I'm glad we have that in place. Thank you. And with that,
Take a vote. Oh, Kim had to step out to me.
okay, I will, Galen, you have to. Phew. You have to tell me to do that. Sorry.
Can we have a motion to pass this?
I will make a motion to accept the donation from Park Pictures.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Kim will be back soon. Okay, next we have Excellence in Education.
Yes, it's my pleasure to introduce our representatives from Excellence in Education here this evening for very exciting information and news.
Hello, my name is Julie, and I am from the Excellence in Education Foundation. We are excited about this year's grant cycle as it marks the first return to a normal grant cycle since the pandemic. As many of you may recall, during the pandemic, we were able to support you guys with emergency needs, for example, with our Chromebooks, hotspots, and air purifiers. Last spring, we received 53 grant requests, and were able to fund all but 3 of these grants. The 3 we did not fund were simply not funded because they didn't meet our criteria. Grants funded to TTUSD totaled $118,000. 5 grants were funded to CELS at approximately $7,500, for a total of $125,694 in grants funded this year. There were a couple of themes we noticed in these 50 grants that we funded that I wanted to share with you. There was a return to manipulatives and hands-on learning, which was exciting. It's kind of the piece that we really like as a foundation, and we're excited to see people having a little less fear around having things that are touched by the students. We also had lots of book requests this year. In fact, we had a total of 42% of our grant requests were for books. This was due in part because during the pandemic, some books were sent home with students that didn't come back to the school. The books didn't. And also we saw a desire to update and diversify libraries, which was a really cool thing to see. I would like to share with you some of the other grants that we funded this year. Approximately 50,000 went to books and other literacy materials. 11,600 funded musical instruments at Alder Creek Middle School. The actual request was for 22,000. However, the musical fund started by TTUSD in partnership with Excellence in Education several years ago was able to match the donation that we offered for these instruments. One particularly exciting one was the DNA sequencing device that we funded for Dr. Steakley at North Tahoe High School. This equipment will allow the students to sequence the DNA of endemic Tahoe plants, and their findings will be included in a published journal article, which is really cool. It gives me chills. I love that one. A new kiln was also funded for the Truckee High School art program, and a Lego robotic program for Kings Beach and North Tahoe School was funded. This will lead to an exciting collaboration between the two STEAM programs at these two locations. An interesting side note, we have already had to pad a few of these grants since quotes for the items were offered back in the spring. With supply chain issues and inflation, many of the costs have risen since those quotes were received. We anticipated this issue, we budgeted for it, and have been able to make up the difference in several instances already. All told, this brings us to a total of $118,000 and $118,010, I always forget the 10, that we would like you to accept from the Excellence in Education program.
Wow.
Photo moment, I know.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, board?
Thank you.
Oh, yay, the checks are back. I got the real ones.
Thank you, Julie. And I'll tell you, it's always interesting to read the grant request and see how imaginative, creative, and, focused on students all of those grants are. So are there any questions for Excellence in Education? Are there any comments from the audience? No?
Before I do, I'll just make a quick comment, though, is that it's really exciting that we have you as a team behind all of us, and I think that I've been talking about how lucky we are where we live, and I think the community support of Excellence in Ed has been able to be so creative with all these little things that, as you said, have saved us quickly. Like we got the hotspots, and that was a big deal, and you guys being right there with available funds was instrumental in sort of rolling a lot of stuff out. So I think I appreciate the depth of who you are and what you have, and then I think the number of grants that come that are just so, like to get something published from Stakely, I mean, those are just fun. Those are great, but that was my comment.
Okay, could we have a motion then to accept these grants?
Well, I actually just wanted to say thank you as well, because I believe wholeheartedly that our teachers are given a certain amount of creative license with the degree to which they want to implement their curriculum. You're adding so many, you give them so much freedom and sort of artistic license to be able to do things that's not just the straight and narrow curriculum, pacing and instruction guides. This is what makes learning fun for kids, and this is what makes kids want to get up in the morning and go to school, like genomic sequencing of plants in Lake Tahoe. That's exciting. You don't see that happening in other districts. So you're really a huge component. I don't even know if we all realize it consciously, but you're a huge component to what makes this community unique and extraordinary. So thank you both, and thank your board, and thank your donors, because I think our community really supports it, and it shows. It's really bearing tremendous fruit. So thank you so much. Heartfelt. And with that, I will move to approve the donation from the Excellence in Education Foundation Spring 2022 grants. That's kind of a mouthful.
I will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Next item.
So I'm going to excuse myself. There's a family thing going on, so I'm going to excuse myself. So I apologize. But thank you, Galen.
Sorry.
So now we need to approve support for Aim High to partner with Truckee Tahoe Airport to support the Aim High Tahoe Truckee summer camps for 2023.
Yes, and I'm going to be doing this one on behalf of Ms. Kramer, who's not with us this evening. The Truckee Tahoe Airport Board is requesting that the TTUSD Board discuss and vote to support Aim High's partnership application. The Aim High application with the Truckee Tahoe Airport District will only be considered when endorsed through a formal approval process and a motion or resolution by the governing board. It's an amazing 5-week program that we had recently at Alder Creek Middle School for our rising 6th and 9th graders. It's offered at no cost to our students and our families, and it typically serves about 100 to 125 Tahoe Truckee Unified School District students. So the staff is asking that the board approve support for Aim High through this resolution.
So before I ask for questions, I want to thank you, Laura and Julie, for, for all the grants again. See, I got handed this, and you got to do what I can. Okay, any questions about this Aim High? No?
I do have a comment.
Any comments from the audience? No? Dee Dee?
Thank you. I will say that I went to their open house at Aim High at Kings Beach, and Laura was there as well, and I wholeheartely support what they are doing, and I think it's incredibly, the venue itself at Kings Beach is amazing, and it was a breath of fresh air, and I think Paula Bossler, one of the head leaders of that program, said that it was a summer of healing, having those kids around. And I think that not that we need to take everybody in to help us all, outside, we have a lot of support inside, but having something like Aim High come in with just such a depth of support is monumental. And I left so invigorated, and I think the comment and the word that I took, or the phrase that I took away from that was how do we get their conversations into our everyday classrooms? Compassion, caring, supportive, and happy. And so I just wanted to say thank you for letting us have it there, and I really supported all those. The board, they said that they've been with us for 10 years, and it's been extremely positive.
It's amazing.
Kirsten?
No, just thank you again, Alec and the team, to have the courage to bring this program to our community. It was a definite gamble way back when. We had no idea how it was going to work because their model had been exclusively built off of the San Francisco school district, and we were rural and we were different, but they took a chance with us, and it's made a huge difference in our graduation rates, in our college acceptance rates, our summer learning loss rates, and really just keeping kids safe during the summer. So it's a 4-pronged result, and we really appreciate the safety that you provide our children during the summer and the education as well. So thank you, Aim High. And with that, is this an action? Yeah.
Yes.
With that, I will move to approve this resolution. I'm not going to try to say that.
I will second.
Before I call for the vote, I'd like to thank Tahoe Truckee Airport
Yep.
for their support in this and in the next item. So, all in favor of this?
Aye.
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 Good catch.
So now we go to approve support for SWEPT to
Yes.
partner with Truckee Tahoe Airport District.
Again, thank you very much. Again, the Truckee Tahoe Airport Board is requesting that the TTUSD Board Discuss and vote to support the SWEP's partnership application. The SWEP application with the TTUSD Truckee Tahoe Airport District will only be considered through a formal motion of resolution and action. The SWEP's 2022 partnership request is a continuation of the work that SWEP is doing with the Tahoe Truckee Emission Reduction Partnership and with TTAD. So staff is asking that our board approve this resolution.
Any questions from the board? Any comments from the public? No. We have a motion.
I will make a motion to approve the grant 12.3.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Now I move to the consent agenda. Superintendent Geisel, are there any changes or pulls?
No changes to the consent agenda. Trustee Larson.
Do either of the board members want to pull one? Okay. Can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second. Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, business services, facilities. Approve agreement for removal and replacement of Truckee High School asphalt.
Mr. Rivera?
Yes, thank you. And if you don't mind, I'll go over 15.1 and 15.2. Both of these items are for asphalt maintenance. The first 15.1 is for repair and overlay of new asphalt behind the Truckee School campus by the old pool building. So that parking lot will be overlaid and refinished. The second one is for Tahoe Lake. And it's the upper area by the portable classrooms. They've had some issues with pooling water there, which becomes a hazard in the wintertime when it freezes over. So this will be for asphalt crack repair and some sections of replacement. The first contract for Truckee High is for $59,600. $59,472 for Truckee High School, and Tahoe Lake is $59,690.
Board have any questions on either of these items? No. Any public comment? None. Could I have a motion first on item 15.1?
I'll make a motion to approve 15.1.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And could we have a motion on 15.2?
I'll make a motion to approve 15.2.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Oops.
Fiscal Services, moving on, California, approve California Department of Education form request for allowance of attendance because of emergency. Okay.
Thank you. So yes, we've brought these to the board in the past. As you're aware, Education Code requires unified school districts to have 180 instructional days in the school year. Oftentimes, we do build in additional snow days in our calendar. However, sometimes our snow days exceed the amount we build in. So we usually will go to California Department of Education and try to get a waiver for the days that we could not make up during the school year. So this past school year in 2021-22, we had a total of 5 snow days, which were covered by the days that we included in our calendar. Donner Trail had a 6th day that was called a snow day. And then in addition, we had the 4 days of smoke/wildfire evacuation due to the Caldor fire. So we started the school year late. So in this application, we are requesting a waiver from the state for those 4 days at the beginning of the school year, and then also the 1 additional snow day for Donner Trail.
Do we have any questions? We've done this before, right? Any comments from the public? No. Could I have a motion to approve 15.3?
I'm very happy that we were able to put this forth and that we do get this allowance, and I definitely will make a motion to approve 15.3.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Now, 15.4, approve a financial operation agreement. Expedition.
This is between Tahoe Truckee Unified School District and the Sierra Expeditionary Learning School. Mr. Rivera?
Thank you. So this is an annual agreement that we do bring to the board, which basically covers all the operational components for Sierra Expeditionary Learning School that we provide for them. So that includes information and descriptions of things such as bus service, special education services, food services, as well as the use of our buildings and the utility usage. One thing that we did add this year, all else pretty much remains the same as in prior years. What we did add is a component in there basically to provide transitional kindergarten services for cells. As you're aware, we're now required to provide universal transitional kindergarten for specific months throughout the year. Cells is a charter that their petition only allows for kindergarten through 8th grade, and also they don't really have the capacity at this point to provide that program, so the district is providing that on their behalf.
So are there any questions on this issue?
Just a clarifying one, Todd, I apologize, just from listening to the last section, we are providing a TK for them, is that on our sites and not theirs because of no room at cells?
Yes, essentially the way it'll work is if they have interested parties that want to register for cells for transitional kindergarten, they'll direct them to enroll in district schools.
I got you, thank you. Yep.
TTUSD schools.
Good question, Didi. Any other questions? Can I have a motion to approve this?
I will make a motion to approve 15.4, the agreement between TTUSD and cells.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. We're done with all of that stuff. Now it's board business. Yeah. Kirsten, you want to start?
No, I really don't have anything tonight to say. I'm happy that I just got back from a trip to San Diego for a couple weeks, which was lovely. And we're rolling up our sleeves, getting ready to move our daughter down to Santa Cruz into the dorms, which open up in a couple of weeks. So lots of just enjoying family time.
Dee Dee?
I actually have spent most of my time on my mountain bike with my middle schoolers, and then I've been doing stuff with the Tahoe Lake, or Tahoe Cross Country, which gives us the littler kids. So I do some, and I kind of had to drop out of high school because they're so good. Ed Hilton's kids just like, they can do Papa Wheelies in the parking lot, and I can barely get on my bike. But I've had a blast, and we've toured all over, and these kids will talk the entire way for an hour and a half or an hour and 45 minutes, and we come back and they're like, we just made 8 miles. Really, really fun. And I've had a blast just meeting some of the kids, which is fun because I don't always see them, and they love it. They're excited to be outside, and I will tell you, they are all excited about getting back to school though, because they keep, we talk about which classrooms are going to be in, who their teachers are. And so I think that I'm definitely energized for this year, and I think the kids are definitely ready to get into the classrooms and see their buddies. But I will tell you, a lot of people have traveled. They've definitely gone away, which was good because we haven't had a chance to. But that's been my my focus. I have offered to do some manual labor at the schools, but so far no one's taken me up.
Thank you. I had a meeting today with Nanette of our Transportation Services and Tony Lazovo on the battery-powered buses that we heard about last meeting, and I got buzzed about the battery-powered buses, and I just wanted to know more about them. And this is really an interesting deal, and we'll eventually have to approve getting the grant here. But just as a preview, because I'm so excited about it, is these are big, full-size 80 capacity, 84 capacity buses. They look exactly the same. The only difference is they have a battery and a electric motor in them. The range is still an issue for battery-powered buses, and In Tahoe and Truckee, we have another problem with heat. And so when you're using an electric heater to heat the bus, you use up a lot of electrical energy. So they've got it all figured out of what kind of a route, how far it'll go, what'll it cost, how are they going to phase these in, and we'll learn about electric buses and what the advantages and disadvantages are. 4 of them possibility, and then more possibly later. We'll still need diesel probably, unless there's a big breakthrough in batteries at some point. But the cost of the fuel per mile is like 1/5 diesel to electrical energy for the same mile. So I'm excited, and I was really appreciative of their time to explain this. And with that, meeting adjourned.